What's the most acting Oscar nominations a film has ever had? The answer is 5. It's a record held by only 9 films across 98 years of Academy Award history.
I love it.
Recently, one battle after another came close, perhaps the closest any film has come in decades, to becoming the 10th one. But, in the end, it was just a little infinity away. In this video, I'll cover the films that attained that infinity, getting more nominated actors than the number of categories. I'll go over each film in chronological order, giving my thoughts about each of the nominated performances. 45 in total, so...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Our first specimen is the 1942 Best Picture winner Mrs. Miniver, directed by the great William Wyler, who directed the most actors into Oscar nominations and wins. It's one of Hollywood's many propaganda pieces to raise audiences' spirits during World War II. And though it's no Casablanca, it's definitely one of the best. Greer Garson, who won the Best Actress Oscar, may not be that well remembered today.
I know it's foolish and extravagant. I don't know what my husband will say, but I simply got to have it.
But she was the prestige actress of the 40s.
You seem to be so proud of it.
Think of a stuffy, self-important, super serious, old-timey Oscar bait. She'd be the lead.
Yes, I'm all right. Will you come to the back door?
As for the performance, Garson is ever dignified and elegant, the perfect lady.
I just took it away from him and called the police.
And her eyes are magically expressive. Light and eyelashes help.
You don't mind terribly, do you?
Counting a sequel to this one, she made 8 films with Walter Pidgeon, nominated here for Best Leading Actor.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, dear.
No, it wasn't anything. What were you going to say, dear?
Oh, nothing important. I just wondered if you had a nice time in town today, that was all.
He is that ideal consummate gentleman we never get anymore, with great posture, poise, voice and tone.
What's the use of having little money if once in a while you just can't be, well, reckless with it? Throw it away on something you really want, huh?
The problem is he doesn't get too much to do in the movie, even though he sails to Dunkirk.
Well, it's a disappointment. No use pretending it isn't.
Nowadays, there's no doubt he'd be considered a supporting performance. Cowards.
Pretty sad.
As a supporting actor nominee, we have Henry Travers as everybody's favorite station master.
It's my masterpiece.
It's a heartwarming, slightly humorous role, but not much else.
That's where you come in, man.
You know that surprise acting nomination that makes you go, even him? Boy, they really like the film, it's gonna win Best Picture. That's him.
Don't talk silly. You might as well say goodbye, England.
Say the spare nominee.
Why should I, Why should I?
In Best Supporting Actress we have Dame Mae Whitty. You know her as the lady who vanishes in that film whose name I don't remember.
Mrs. Miniver, I did not come here to chatter pedigrees. I'm old-fashioned, I believe in breeding. But that's neither here nor there.
She plays one of those snobbish English aristocrats who turn out to have a heart of gold. She's wonderful.
Yes, I was wonderful.
But Best Supporting Actress winner Teresa Wright is even better playing her granddaughter.
I'd like to be sure.
She manages to be adorable and wholesome, but never a dummy.
Glad to hear it. But do you do anything about it?
She's jovial and polite without ever coming off fake.
Please do sit down. I just want to say hello. Well, sit down. Oh, thank you.
It's a deep performance that she makes look simple.
And I suppose it is.
And that's our first quintet. Now my favorite film of the bunch, by far, All About Eve. Without a leading actor, it didn't get into every category like Mrs. Miniver.
It's obvious you're not a woman.
But it had 2 lead actresses nominated.
You can always put that award where your heart ought to be.
Bette Davis gives her best performance by absolutely nailing Mankiewicz's intelligent, articulate dialogue.
Stage-struck kid. She's a young lady of qualities. And I'll have you know I'm fed up with both the young lady and her qualities.
She's supposed to be this overbearing, overdramatic diva, and she pulls it off like to the manner born.
It gets better.
No matter how over the top what Margot does or says,
Accused of reading your silly dialogue as if it were the holy gospel.
Davis makes it look like the most natural thing in the world.
I'll admit I may have seen better days, but I'm still not to be had for the price of a cocktail.
And her drunken eyes are the best.
Please don't play governess, Karen. I haven't your unyielding good taste.
One of the top 2 performances covered here.
Suppose you drop dead.
Her fellow Best Actress nominee is Baxter as Eve.
I thought you'd forgotten about me.
Oh, not at all.
And it's also an excellent, difficult performance.
What are you doing here?
She starts as an angelic, cloying child
Most important night of my life. Until now.
and ends as a scheming soap opera villain.
I'd do much more for a part that good.
Then we have two Best Supporting Actress nominees. Celeste Holm, who's strong indeed, but since she spends 100 minutes being calm and collected,
Don't run out of adjectives, dear.
when she gets a dramatic moment and suddenly puts on airs and affectations,
Lloyd Richards, you are not to consider giving that contemptible little worm the part of Cora.
it feels a little labored.
Why, half the playwrights in the world would give their shirts for that particular compromise.
Now just...
She's imitating Margot in her own way. Not inborn to her, but still a hard sell.
That cynicism you refer to, I acquired the day I discovered I was different from little boys.
But Thelma Ritter steals her few scenes as Margot's maid, Birdie.
May I be so bold as to say something? Have you ever heard of the word union?
Behind in your dues, how much?
I haven't got a union. I'm slave labor.
Ritter has never been anything less than wholly effortless and entertaining.
What a story. Everything but the bloodhound snapping at her rear end.
The role was written for her,
You want an argument or an answer?
and you could say she's playing herself.
Now you want an argument.
But isn't playing oneself simply a negative way of looking at being great at choosing roles?
If I haven't, I'll find something till you get normal.
After these four women, the only one who won was Best Supporting Actor George Sanders.
Why not read my column to pass the time? The minutes will fly like hours.
As a smug, self-satisfied, impossibly posh poison letter speaker.
To the best of my recollection, neither your name nor your performance entered the conversation.
That is, George Sanders.
I'm nobody's fool, least of all yours.
Talk about the right role.
You have a point. An idiotic one, but a point.
He's so flawless, part of me wants to believe his part wasn't in the screenplay.
Your next move, it seems to me, should be towards television.
He just walked into the set and said whatever he felt like.
And why not?
The big winner from 53, From Here to Eternity, didn't have as many supporting nominations as the previous films. Only one in each category, both winners.
What? I got a pass.
But it had two lead actors and one lead actress nominated. Deborah Carr, playing an obviously supporting role, got a lead actress nod.
I haven't the slightest idea.
I know I should separate the performance from the actor's career, but I'm extra impressed by how different she is here. Unhappy and bitter.
I know several kinds of ways, Sergeant. You're probably not even remotely aware of some of them.
We see so many leads running as supporting for an easier win that I can't help but love a supporting role punching above their weight.
I never knew it could be like this.
She has an affair with Burt Lancaster, Best Actor nominee, and those two have some palpable sexual tension.
What is it that makes you so efficient, Sergeant?
I was born smart, man.
Lancaster's physique and careful delivery always made him perfect for military roles.
Rest of you men listen to me. I want every man to get his rifle, go to his bunk, and stay there.
And here he's as great and commanding as he's ever been.
Okay, fatso. If it's killing you want, come on.
His fellow Best Actor nominee, Montgomery Clift, is the one you'd call the lead.
Thank you, sir.
Clift was at his best playing troubled, intense man, and that's what we've got.
Finally, I just couldn't go back.
A heavy performance with a casino's worth of chips on his shoulder.
Don't worry. I ain't gonna die.
He also went method and learned how to bugle and box. Maybe he was already a pool shark? They didn't give Oscars for such extra homework at the time.
Yeah, but I ain't smart.
Donna Reed plays his love interest, whom the Hays Code does its best to pretend is not a prostitute.
Now, what do you think Mrs. Kipfer hires us for? She pays us to be nice to all the boys. They're all alike.
I wouldn't say she's great. I see nothing here.
You're a funny one.
And doing his best to steal the show is old Grey Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra.
Man, what I would not give to have this character in a corner pool room in my hometown.
Playing an ultra-showy supporting performance.
I am waiting here for a movie star to come out of the hotel, and I am not going until she shows up.
Full of physicality, going loud, cracking jokes, improving, I think he feels much too desperate to win an Oscar to win an Oscar.
A7. Snake Eyes.
The following year there was On the Waterfront, with the actor who changed film acting forever, Marlon Brando.
You take the good goods away and the kickbacks and a shakedown cabbage and a pistol arrows and you're nothing.
What else is there to say about his Oscar-winning acting as Terry Malloy?
Do it to him before he does it to you.
It's a fully fleshed-out performance, down to the tiniest gesture.
I just go for it.
The normalization of mumbling had negative consequences for film history.
Well, I'll be in there later.
But when his type of Italian street acting works, it works perfectly. And it's perfect here.
You hear that?
Best Supporting Actress winner Eva Marie Saint holds her own every time.
No wonder everybody calls you a bum.
Her facial expressions, her delivery, all come off on point.
But Pop, I've seen things that I know are so wrong. Now how can I go back to school and keep my mind on things that are just in books?
Old actresses did a lot of this seesawing between eyes. And Elia Kazan's excellent direction improves their work with long medium shots, allowing you to see their detailed body language in full.
We haven't been here since last Christmas.
This was the first film to get 3 nominations for Best Supporting Actor. None of them won. There's Carl Malden as the crusading priest.
I have a hunch all of you could tell us something about it.
He's got a hell of an Oscar scene.
This is my church! And if you don't think Christ is down here on the waterfront, you've got another guess coming.
I still prefer Lee Jacob.
Where's that big banker of mine?
Excellent as ever as mob boss Johnny Friendly.
When I was 16, I had to beg for work in the hole.
He's doing his Lee Jacob thing.
You don't push a bag of drac, you don't work no place.
Right.
You're done.
Like I said, a role well chosen.
I'll do ya.
The third supporting actor was Rod Steiger as Brando's brother.
He's a good kid. You know that.
Steiger's an excellent actor and shockingly versatile.
We get the
Listen to me, Terry.
Take the job. Just take it. No questions. Take it.
But I don't see the point of a nomination here.
Just shut up!
He has one big scene and it's Brando's biggest scene.
You don't understand. I could have had class.
He had no shot to shine.
Tell me you can't do that. I mean, all right, maybe the boy is out of line, but he's just a confused kid.
I suppose it's that spare nomination I mentioned.
Johnny wants a favor. Don't think about it.
Do it.
3 years later, we get Peyton Place, the obscure film from this list. It's a colorful cinemascope melodrama about the lives of several characters in a small New England town at the start of World War II. It's a soap opera, but you can say the same about Mrs. Miniver and From Here to Eternity. And All About Eve. Now the nominated cast. Lana Turner got her only Oscar nomination here, as a lead actress.
You're just like your father about sex.
And it's not anything worth writing about.
Don't you ever let me hear you say a thing like that again.
The role doesn't have that much and neither does her performance.
And I wouldn't understand.
It's no wonder her private life was so much more interesting than her career.
Sooner or later we get around to this.
And since this film is a mosaic, she's not even the protagonist. Just the most famous name in the billing.
I think so.
If you had to call one person the lead, it would have to be her character's daughter, played by Best Supporting Actress nominee Diane Varsi.
I'd like to see the world.
She's not good at all.
All I want is some normal, intelligent discussion. And maybe some normal affection between a boy and a girl. Nothing more.
She carries the bulk of the story's emotional journey, but she always looks bored, no matter what's happening in the scene.
As soon as I can, I'm gonna get dressed, pack my things and leave Peyton Place. I never want to see this town or you again.
Her delivery is ever monotone.
And I wrote a speech that Rodney Harrington's going to read. Badly, I'm sure.
You should say.
Because I was afraid I'd cry. Still might cry every time I think of Miss Thornton not getting that job.
But her narration, yes, she also narrates.
Where I was born, time was told, not by the clock or the calendar, but by the seasons.
Is even worse.
It nipped our noses and our arrogance, and made us move closer to the warm stoves of memory and desire.
Poor girl, it's so stilted and lifeless.
I cried all the way to New York, and my eyes were the color of the oak leaves that had started to fall back home. We'd finally discovered that season of love. It is only found in someone else's heart. But none of us in New York or in Peyton Place could guess how much would be demanded of us that winter of deep despair.
In the film, she dates Best Supporting Actor nominee Russ Templin.
Please, Allison, I've got to tell somebody.
You know him as Dr. Jacoby from Twin Peaks, but you know him better as Riff from West Side Story.
Why, I can't dance or kiss girls, or look anybody in the eye. You see, I'm a sissy and a coward.
He's not so lively here, playing a shy, sexually repressed boy who creates the proto-version of the They Don't Know meme.
I know, but I am, and I don't know what I can do about it.
The low-energy acting makes sense for his character, not at all for Varsi.
Oh, God.
And he goes through a change and visibly becomes confident and gleeful.
You know, though, you never said goodbye to me when you left Peyton Place. You never even said goodbye.
Also nominated for Best Supporting Actor is Arthur Kennedy.
Everything that was important to me was learned somewhere else.
Remember the reporter from Lawrence of Arabia? He was nominated for the Oscar 5 times.
Why, you little...
Here he plays the school janitor and local drunk.
Might do your kids a lot more good to learn how to handle a bottle of liquor instead of an algebra problem.
Nothing really to say. He does the job.
I'm gonna try harder than I... Don't ever try that, Tim.
He's in the film's darkest storyline, and this film gets way darker than you imagine.
It ain't like I was your real pie, you know.
Alongside Best Supporting Actress nominee Hope Lang.
Promise me, please promise.
Maybe you know her from Blue Velvet. Did Lynch have a thing for Peyton Place? She's got the most emotionally demanding role in the movie, with murder and rape. Not counting her mother, Sue. You can cover these subjects in 57, but I can't mention them today on YouTube for fear of getting demonetized. That's why you should join me on Patreon. Liking and subscribing also helps. And Hope Lang is... good.
I won't tell you.
No wonder it's the first film mentioned to lose every category, and not to win Best Picture. Nobody in the cast will blow you away. But what I'm doing is the dark side of canon making, finding that entry with best attached to it that leaves you wanting. It's not really fair to the film. Everyone...
But somehow I managed, and I stayed. I learned what I could endure.
Almost everyone is fine, but having them in superlative lists can easily make you think they're worse than they are.
Wonderful and fine and good. That's what I told you? Well, I lied.
Before getting to the next one, let's have some fun with the non-English titles it got across the globe. Luckily, non-Americans took a look at the title and said, Peyton Place, how the fuck do I sell this thing? And we got... When One is Young, a Story of Youth. Stormy Lives. The Sinners from Peyton. Peyton Place, Town of Sin. To love is not a sin. Embers under the ashes. Playing in the dark. Nest of hatred. The beauty of hell. The pleasures of hell. The Devil's Cauldron. On that cheery note, Tom Jones, that big blot in the Best Director category. The Unexplainable Grand Winner of 1963 was the first and only film to have 3 Best Supporting Actress nominees. Dame Edith Evans playing a loud comedy role.
I have known many couples who have entirely disliked each other. Lead very comfortable, genteel lives.
She's funny indeed, but...
Don't you point that firearm at me, sir!
It's just a case of they like the film and here's a chance to finally give a beloved veteran a nomination.
I think you are a perfect goat. Good night, sir.
How about Joyce Redman?
I thought myself in a respectable inn. What I see now is a boarding house.
She has a memorable scene eating a lusty meal. And that's about it.
Sure have only myself to blame for putting my trust in a man so unworthy of my favors.
Nothing worth a look. So let's try... Diane Cilento. Who? Oh, that girl in the beginning.
You wicked dog.
The one they think got knocked up by Tom Jones. She's in a few minutes. She got an Oscar nomination. Her? There is nothing here. They really like this choppy mess of a film. Okay, now Best Leading Actor. Albert Finney. You know him.
Most hungry I can vouch for it.
The jumbled editing and disorderly direction make his performance bipolar and slapdash.
If I have broke my arm, I consider it a trifle.
Though it made him a millionaire, he hated making the movie.
I only have 1 guinea, sir.
So we've got something in common.
Madam, that is the last thing I would wish.
Best Supporting Actor nominee Hugh Griffith.
I smoke it!
Who looks as beautiful as the movie.
I will propose it.
He's the best here.
And as for that son of a whore, Jones, if I catch him anywhere near my gal, I'll qualify him to run for the gelding's plate.
He was drunk throughout the shooting, so perhaps because of it, he's the one whose acting fits the best with this thing's style. Luckily, this is the only film, alongside Peyton Place, not to win a single acting Oscar. If only score, script, director and picture had followed suit. Speaking of influential films that forever changed movies for the worse, here's a good one, Bonnie and Clyde. It's the only film alongside From Here to Eternity in which the nominated actors were exactly the 5 ones with top billing. And the only one alongside Mrs. Miniver to have them all sharing the frame. Also the second film not to win Best Picture, Director and Screenplay.
You know what you done there? You told my story.
I've always considered Warren Beatty a very limited actor.
Look, I ain't a rich man. You could get a rich man if you tried.
But since he almost always had creative involvement in his films, he was smart enough to mostly play roles that fit his narrow range.
Ain't life grand?
And if you think about it, he's actually playing against type here, as a man who can't get it on.
I ain't much of a lover boy. That don't mean nothing personal about you. I never saw no percentage in it.
His co-lead, Faye Dunaway, is the best one.
Oh, boy.
You always know what she's feeling at every moment.
She wouldn't have the gumption to use it.
Here's a player with range.
Get them out of here.
Gene Hackman got a Best Supporting Actor nomination as Clyde's brother.
I killed a guy, now we're in this.
And I say, sure, he's good.
Don't sell that cow.
Now Michael J. Pollard, equally nominated.
She's my favorite picture star, man.
Who invited him to the party? He's not bad, but what did they see here?
Bonnie says it looks good.
The character's just a silly, simple idiot.
Excuse me, ma'am.
What I can't forgive, though, is not only nominating, but awarding Stella Parsons Best Supporting Actress, the only winner of the gang.
Did you take my picture back? Well, I declare, I asked you not to take my picture.
She's terrible. Her acting is so obvious and over the top, she nearly ruins the movie.
I'm a nervous wreck, and that's the truth.
If there's a believable way to play a repetitive, histrionic harpy constantly whining and throwing fits, she definitely didn't show us how. Now that masterpiece of cinema, The Godfather Part 2. Like On the Waterfront and the first Godfather, it got 3 supporting actor nominations. The winner, of course, was young Robert De Niro, as young Vito Corleone. Time for my hottest take. This performance is not special. Yeah, he learned Sicilian and he does channel Brando's mannerisms and inflections in a very discreet way, suggesting the man he'd become instead of doing an imitation. But most of the time I think he's just performing the role without elevating it in any way. That's the minimum. I won't get any flack for this at all. Both his fellow nominees were more deserving.
The doctors would disagree, but what do they know?
Imagine getting the most famous and influential acting teacher of all time for a role. And I'll be damned if Lee Strasberg wasn't the real deal.
This is the business we've chosen.
Good thing he had such a great, memorable role.
We're bigger than U.S. Steel.
There's a pro who took the assignment seriously.
Real partnership with the government. Smaller piece.
I keep forgetting about Michael Vigazzo.
You sound like my bookie. How that monkey my life.
Half because he's the least famous name here, half because he comes off so natural it doesn't feel like a performance.
I don't understand.
He has this casual, unstudied demeanor that feels like he's just being himself.
Your father did business with Hyman Roth. Your father respected Hyman Roth. But your father never trusted Hyman Roth.
If I were around at the time, I'd easily have forgotten to vote for him and go, "Oh, right, Frankie Pentangeli. That was a performance." That's a compliment, by the way.
So I said, yeah, sure.
Did you know that Talia Shire was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this film?
I need money.
Her part is brief and not important at all, but it's the best she's ever been. Deserved.
Can't you forgive Fredo?
Of course, it's Al Pacino, nominated for Best Leading Actor, who's the centerpiece.
In my bedroom where my wife sleeps, where my children come and play with their toys.
This is the best he's ever been and one of the greatest performances in movie history.
You're nothing to me now.
His growing anger at Kay's reveal is one of the best individual acting moments I can think of. We finally get to Network, the only film here to win 3 acting categories, and the only present film alongside From Here to Eternity to get 3 lead acting nominations.
Son of a bitch! We struck the mother load!
Patty Chayefsky's brilliant screenplay is, to put it mildly, terrifyingly difficult.
We're not talking about eternal truth or absolute truth or ultimate truth. We're talking about impermanent, transient human truth.
His dialogue is superhumanly eloquent.
One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars.
And the fact there were so many talented thespians to sell his lofty lines believably is practically miraculous.
I feel guilty and conscience-stricken, and all of those things that you think sentimental, but which my generation calls simple human decency.
The only one to show up in more than one movie here is Faye Dunaway, who won the Oscar as the ratings-hungry TV exec who is all numbers and no feelings.
Each week, we open with an authentic act of political terrorism taken on the spot and in the actual moment.
And she somehow adds feelings.
I don't want your pain. I don't want your menopausal decay and death. I don't need you, Max.
In Network, I'd place her in 5th place. That's how strong this cast is.
And don't leave me.
Peter Finch posthumously won Best Actor for playing deranged news anchor Howard Beale.
We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be.
And it's obviously the showiest role of the 45.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
He gets to shout, get disheveled, go on mad monologues.
Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players.
It's an extreme character. He had to go this extreme.
And what's wrong with being an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times? What do you think, Max?
But that part of me that prefers understatement wonders if his fellow nominee William Holden shouldn't have won instead.
Do you want to be an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our times?
Having his unfortunately old-fashioned classical Hollywood style of acting elevates the character.
And nobody wants a dumb, damn, goddamn book about the early days of television.
Much of his dialogue is spelling out themes.
You even shatter the sensations of time and space into split seconds and instant replays.
And his dramatic eyes and oratorical cadence make his lines come out of a real human.
Because all of a sudden it's closer to the end than it is the beginning, and death is suddenly a perceptible thing to me, with definable features.
Could anyone possibly ever deliver the following line an ounce better?
Why is it that a woman always thinks that the most savage thing she can say to a man is to impugn his coxmanship?
Playing his wife, Beatrice Straight did one dramatic scene and won a much-deserved Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, say something for God's sake.
As I've been saying, her dialogue is extremely literate.
Your last roar of passion before you settle into your emeritus years. Is that what's left for me? Is that my share? She gets the winter passion and I get the dotage.
And she infuses every word with emotion. And look at these words.
And if you can't work up a winter passion for me, the least I require is respect and allegiance.
Yet my favorite performance in the whole movie is Ned Beatty as CEO Arthur Jensen.
Very good, Frank. Exemplary. Keep it up.
He also has practically one scene, and it's the best one-scene performance of all time.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it!
He delivers a grandiose cosmic capitalist revelation lush in language and imagery.
It is ebb and flow, tidal gravity, it is ecological balance.
And he's like a great Roman orator winning the Senate.
And subatomic and galactic structure of things today.
Helped by Lumet's appropriate direction, placing him in the vanishing point and approaching with each new shot, he goes from wide and loud
and you will atone
to tighter and softer.
The world is a business, Mr. Beale.
It's rare to witness an actor taking an undramatic role and, as he did here, elevating it high up to the stars.
You just might be right, Mr. Beale.
And these are the 45 nominated performances from the 9 record-holding pictures. Since we've made it this far, here's how I'd rank all of them. Here's how I'd rank the movies. Nothing left to do now. Who knows which movie to come will be the 10th to join the Fiverr gang. I will be waiting. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.